Another critical level cleared for the S&P 500. SPY gave us one pullback. 8 green days in a row gave us one pullback on Thursday, which got the RSI on the daily chart out of overbought territory briefly, just for them to squeeze it up higher the next day. It never broke down my 433 level, and this did end up being some type of bear trap. How did we trade this crazy mess? As always, guys, Uncle Charles' trading style is the sheep style. And with the sheep style, we want to trade with the traps. We know this is a manipulated market. The market makers want to cause us maximum pain to the retail traders. So if we know that the market is looking to get us, what are the best setups to trade? It's the trap setups, aka the false breakouts and the false breakdown setups. We are trading with the traps. That is something that I try to preach here on Uncle Charles' channel, and I'm trying to change people's mindset. Instead of calling tops and bottoms, it's all about watching out for the traps and trading with the traps. And if you guys think it's a good philosophy or a good trading approach, definitely like this video. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe so Uncle can reach more people and get this message out. Let me show you what I mean. I used the 15-minute chart on Friday, and the market started off with a trap, false breakout setup. All right, let me change this color to white. Okay, so I had a level, this green line. As you guys know, I had the 436 level. That's the green line. Started off breaking out 436 on the 15-minute chart, only to give us a false breakout setup. I'm telling you guys, you can make your trading accuracy increase a lot higher if you just play the trap setups, false breakouts and false breakdowns. So, but it started off with a false breakout setup. If you played the false breakout setup, you know we play it level to level. I had the next target at 434.5, and it dropped there, smashed that level, went a tiny bit lower, but eventually could not break down 434.5 and just broke above. Okay, this was what 434.5 was a fib level, the 50% fib level that we lost Thursday. So watching this action intraday, how we gapped back above and then it tested it as support, it was definitely not, at the very least, not bearish at the time. But then what happened? We bounced, and one of the greatest trade setups of all time, side by side with the false breakout, is the false breakdown setup. So what is the false breakout? Is when we clear our resistant level, and then the next candle or a later candle, we break back below that level. That's a false breakout. That's the trigger to enter puts. But when we get a false breakdown, when we lose a level, and then it recaptures on a later candle, that's a false breakdown setup, and that's our trigger to enter calls. So when I'm in the Discord, like I'll write here for an example, 434.5 defended as support and 436 cleared. This puts 437.5 in play. No puts unless 436 fail again as support. This means we are good for calls. This means to enter calls with the next target being at 437.5. Okay? I try to make it straightforward with my updates in my Discord. All right? And then when we hit the target, once it recaptured, I had the next target at 437.5. That's where we want to take profits and leave runners. Okay? Take most profits and leave runners. Now, when you hold your runners, you're in a risk-free play. You're in a risk-free position because you already took most profits. Now your runner is you're either gonna end at break even, because hopefully you set your stop loss at break even, or if the market continues up, your runner will catch that nice home run move for you. And you can always add to your winner. So let's say you hit 437.5, you took most profit, now you're green, you probably love Uncle Charters at this point, and then you leave a runner to see if the market will go up. And then the market does go up. This is what I learned the group. I told the group, if you play the 436 recapture, please take profits close to 437.5 as possible. Dark pool level was around 437.3 in case anyone wanted to reference that one. And then I wrote, for the bounce to continue, 437.5 must clear on a 15 to 30 minute chart to put 439 in play. Okay? And then when it did clear, I just update the group as the day go on. And look at that, beautiful, clear 437.5. You could have added to your winners here or just continue holding runners stress-free. And look, smash the next target at 439. Beautiful. And then what happened? Did the market stop there? No, it didn't. I wrote in the last post of the day, 439 clearing, put in 440.25 in higher targets in play. It was beautiful. Look at that. Broke out 439. And it just continued high, going up to 441-ish. Amazing. Just playing it level to level style, okay? Playing false breakouts and false breakdowns, okay? Now, what made me trust the breakouts more? Because it was, you know, this wasn't like when they broke out 437.5. That's not a false breakdown, That's just a regular breakout. What made me trust this breakout more is because it was running off of the momentum of the false breakdown. Does that make sense? This is how we trade with the traps. If you miss one setup, just don't take it personal. Don't force a trade. Just wait patiently for the next setup. These setups are like buses. They come and they go. Okay? You miss one, catch the next one. But yeah, pretty, you know, I'll say this. I mean this humbly. It was a pretty easy trading day last Friday, okay? Now, the reason why I trade that setup, because I want, the recap of the day and how I traded it, is because I want you guys to learn how to use these levels that I give you guys. You know, how to reference them, the time frame, how to enter. You know, you enter when we get a false breakout with puts, and you want to enter as close to the breakdown as possible, even with calls. And if a trade gets invalidated, you just cut your loss. Look at, you know, I can show you so many evidence on a smaller time frame using my levels of how there's so many setups that come out throughout the day. Some days are slower than others, I'll admit. Some days you'll get 1 or 2 setups. Some days you'll get more. But that's why, you know, sheep styles are no greed approach, level to level style. We're just looking to catch one level to level move. Anything else is a bonus. All right? So anyways, let's get to the daily chart here, okay? We cleared another resistance level. This is the 61.8 fib level, 440.25, okay? The SPY has been in a downtrend since July all the way till late October. So that's where I have my fib level, from the high of July down to the low of October. I also have been tracking this pattern here. This like expanding bull flag that I have here in the blue line. Okay, this expanding bull flag that I have in the blue line. You know, in the macro level, as long as we are within these blue lines, within this structure, technically we are in, you know, correction mode. SPY is still in correction mode. If we zoom out into the bigger picture, you know, we've been on an uptrend since October 2022 low. So yeah, since July we've been in correction mode. Now, am I fully bullish? I mean, I'll be bullish short term. I'll be bearish short term based on the price action. But if we're looking on the bigger time frame, from the bigger picture here, as long as we are within these blue lines, you know, we got to stay impartial a little bit. You know, would be very bullish if we can actually break out of this blue trend line, right? But there's always the chance, especially with CPI and PPI coming this week, that the bears could be waiting right there or around there just to push it back down for the next leg down, okay? So we want to be careful and look to react. Don't try to predict. Breakdowns and breakouts are powerful, especially on the bigger time frame. They lead to very nice moves, swing trading standards. So we got to wait to react. And the plan for this week, okay, as long as above 440.25, the breakout of Friday holds, and a test of 442, let me see, 442.5 would be in play. That would be the third test of the blue trend line. Okay, so I want to give you guys the bull case and the bear case. Okay, I'm gonna start off with the bull case, and then when I'm done, I'll give you guys the bear case. We are looking to react and being prepared for either scenario. This is not about predicting. It's about being prepared, and being ready to react based on what the price action shows us in these levels that I'm going to give you. So, bull case is if we stay above 440.25 this week and we manage to clear 442.5, that's bullish. We would be entering breakout mode. Now, I would be surprised if we break it out on the first test. I would be surprised, but you know, the market's going to do what it wants to do. I didn't think we was going to get 8 higher closes in a row, and we did do that. You know, the market's going to do what it wants to do. I would be surprised, but if we clear 442.5, that would be bullish, guys. That'll be a breakout of this flag. Potential bottom could be in, correction could be over in favor of the bulls. And above 442.5, I got 444 as a resistant level. Another one, it's around, well, the next fib level is all the way up at 448.7. Okay, and then there is the beginning of this gap right around 447. All right, so yeah, 442.5, 444, 447, the start of the gap. And it looked like the end of the gap even goes up to as high as 449-ish. Well, that's a fib. We're going to count the fib, 448.7. And then the close of this candle is at 450.36. Okay, so that's where the gap is, okay, guys? So, yeah, 442.5, 444, 447, 448.7, 450.3 would be the close of the gap. And those are also the upper targets. If we stay above 440.25 and clear 442.5, those would be the targets. All right, that's the bull case. Bear case scenario, a couple of bear case scenarios. First bear case scenario is if we test that blue trend line and it rejects, I will trust it if we break below 440.25. That will be good context. We test that level, give us the third test, and we'll trust the rejection if it breaks down a support level, giving us that false breakout setup. Breakdown of 440.25 would be needed. All right? Let's say if we don't test it, I prefer we test it, but if we don't test it and we break back below 440.25, that will be a bearish sign. Not too bearish, but it will be a bearish sign. All right? And then support I have below there is, of course, at 439, 437.5. My 1 year trend line is now at 435, so that's the level to watch. And of course 433, that Fibonacci level. Remember this Fibonacci level that we have from October 2022 low to July high. Fibonacci levels at 433. Bears would definitely take over below 433 in my opinion. All right, guys. So that's the plan. For Monday at least, we got PPI and CPI this week, so I'm expecting some good volatility, all right? So that's the plan for the SPY. This is QQQ. Now, I'm zooming out a little bit, well, a lot. You guys can see I got fib level from all-time high. That's back in November of 2021, down to October 2022 low, okay? I caught this downtrend, this big downtrend that we had. The 78.6 fib level is at 375.6. That is the level that was cleared last week. If you are a bear and you are looking for a false breakout setup, that is the level I recommend referencing. If 375.6 fail, that will be very bearish. Put in lower targets in play. Down to 373.5, 372, and 370.5. Below 370.5 would be very bearish. That's a 61.8 fib level. Below 370.5 would be very bearish. But the point is, the big false breakout setup that you want is off of that 375.6 level. That's a critical fib level. Now, if we stay above 375.6, that is overall bullish still. Okay, last week's breakout stays intact. The next level that I like to see clear, we did manage to close above 378. If we could stay above 378, 380, 381.5 and 383 would be the next target. 383 would be this 1 year, well, it's not quite 1 year, but I had this orange trend line from January of this year's low. So a retest of it, a back test of it as resistance would be at 383. And obviously above 383 would be a recapture. Put in 385, 386.5 and 388 in play. All right, that's the bull case. Now, moving on to IWM here. It managed to bounce some way, somehow on Friday. I will trust the bounce more if it can clear 170.5 on Monday. If it does, look to long with 172, 174, and 176 in play, okay? Now, if it drops back below, I have a support at 168.7, this pivot low right here around 167, and then there's a gap fill at 165.5ish. Okay, so bear case is below 168.7, 167, and 165.5. Those are support levels. If they fail, we could see some more downside. Yeah, Tesla got a bounce as well. Recaptured that 211.4 fib level. That's a good start for bulls. To show follow through, they'll need to clear more resistant levels. 215, 217, and 218.3. Above 218.3 is likely a bottom. Is in like this one right here, Thursday, Friday. Like that could be a lower high, a higher low. Excuse me. This could be a higher low. All right, but 218.3 must clear. That would be bullish. Put in higher targets in play. 220, 222 for the gap fill. 224, 225.5, and then there's the fib level around 227. All right, Apple still being bullish. It broke out of this, you know, this wedge that I told you guys about last week. That was pretty bullish. Try to give us a pullback on Thursday, but Friday it just squeezed up higher, running into my next fib level, the 61.8 fib level at 186.5. If 186.5 clears, rally continues. We're going up to 188, 190, and 191.6. All right. Support is at 184 and 183. There's a cluster of support there. If that zone fails, especially below 183, 181.5, 180, 180.6 actually, 179.3. That's a fib level. Those would be support. Below 179.3, I'd favor drop down to 176 to retest this wedge pattern. And obviously below 176 is a false breakout of the wedge pattern. That's the best time to get bearish. But as of right now, it's looking bullish. Holy moly. NVDA is also looking bullish. I have support. This pivot high here around 482. And then this critical one at 476. That's the previous pivot high. Overall bullish above 476. If it wants more upside, excuse me, sorry about that. If it wants more upside, it'll have to clear the next resistance at 485. If 485 clears, 488 is in play with 491 possibly and 493.5-ish. Overall, I got to clear 485 for more upside. If bears want more downside, they need to break down support. Starting with 482, I have support at 478.5 and then the critical one at 476. Those are the levels that must fail to put lower targets in play. 473.5, 472, 470.5, that's a fib level. And below that, it would be very bearish, possibly down to 467 or maybe down to 460 to retest this blue trend line that we broke out last week, all right? Microsoft, new all-time highs, holy moly. So the last all-time high was at 366.78. That is now support, guys. As long as above it, we are bullish. Next resistance I have right now is at 370. If it can clear 370, then more new highs. Well, yeah, this is all new all-time highs. Holy moly. All right. You want to get bearish, it got to break back below 366.78 to put lower targets and play 364.5, maybe down to 360-ish. But overall, we are bullish and flirting with new all-time highs. As long as above 366.78, stay bullish. 370 is next resistant, guys. AMD broke out a fib level. If it could stay above 118, stay bullish, okay? AMD above 118 is bullish. Breakout of 120 would trigger more upside. 122, possibly up to 124-ish, okay? Can't get bearish unless 118 fails as support to put 116, 114 and 0.5 and 113 in play. Below 113, I'll be bear bias, okay, guys? Let's end this with some Darkpool and Option flow. 440.5, 1.1 billion in premium. That's a Darkpool level. And then 3.1 billion around the 433.83 level. Okay, those are the Darkpool levels. Holy moly. A lot of activities from the big money. That's a good sign. All right, it's bearish. SPY's bearish headed into next week. Well, this week. QQQ is bullish, though. IWM is bearish. Tesla is bullish. Apple is bullish. NVDA is bullish. Microsoft is kind of bullish. And AMD is bearish, okay? Kind of mixed there, all right? So anyways, good luck this week, guys. Good luck. I hope you guys make a shit ton of money. If you want more content from Uncle Charlie, definitely consider joining my Discord. Other than that, enjoy the rest of your weekend. God bless. Peace.